Ladies and gentlemen, from Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport to Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore International Airport, even in Bihar's Patna, several airports across the country on Tuesday received bomb threats through emails, prompting security forces to remain on high alert. In many places, the entire airport terminal buildings were checked and rechecked by the security forces. Issuing Hoax threats to flights, airports, or to any aviation sector related facility could soon land pranksters on the no-fly list for 5 years. The Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, BCAS, DG Zulfikar Hassan has said the rising number of such incidents had prompted the agency to propose the action against those found guilty on this count. On Tuesday too, a large number of airports across the country got threat messages about explosive being hidden in the flights. You know, what then happened, despite the chances of being hoax, the agencies can't take any chances and then they go into a complete security overdrive. Should there be strict measures? Is 5-year ban enough? You can also call in, because at the receiving end are just not the security forces personnel, but also the passengers, those who are inconvenienced when such incidents take place. Remember, an Emirates flight, had all the passengers, their entire luggage was checked, and it took off after 12 hours because of a bomb threat, which turned out to be a hoax. We are getting, in fact, our lines are open. You can call us with your views as well, and we'll go to the experts. Mr. Manik Paul is joining us at this moment. Sir, where are you calling from, and what would you like to say on this?
I am calling from Mumbai, and I take these flights very frequently. Fortunately, nothing happened during all my flights that I take, no hoax calls. But my view is, I'm a disciplined man, and everyone in the country should be disciplined. A 5-year ban for flying is not good enough. As soon as you know who is making this hoax call, they should be given 5 years of rigorous imprisonment. That's the only way to stop this thing.
Right.
And hopefully this will work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views and taking the time out for NDTV. And let me also, in fact, introduce my guest at this moment, Mr. Sanjay Lazar, aviation expert, CEO of Aviation Consultants, is also joining us. Captain S.S. Panesa, former Director of Flight Safety for Indian Airlines, Aviation and Flight Safety Experts. Thank you for being with us. I want to just, start with you, Captain Panesa. This is a menace, and it seems like, it's an organized menace that these days we are facing, not only in the flights, but, a few days back it was schools in Delhi. This should be taken extremely seriously, sir. What is your view on this 5-year ban?
Well, let me tell you one thing. Any hoax call cannot be taken as a hoax call. We have to be very serious about the safety of the passenger and aircraft. But we must tighten the security of the passenger when they're going to the aircraft, and the aircraft where they are parked. There should be strict security near the aircraft where they are parked. And once these people, if you can trace the people who have given hoax call, then the law takes its own course, and whatever punishment they decide, they should be given to them, because it causes a lot of inconvenience to the traveling public. People are going on emergency.
Right.
They're going for that action should be taken by the government. They have already framed certain rules. Okay. And they can. But security should be tightened near where the passengers are entering to the launch. And where the aircraft are parked, there should be very strict security to avoid such incident in future.
Captain Panesa, I beg your pardon, sir. Just stay on with me. I'm getting another caller, a viewer of NDTV who is calling at this moment. They also want to express their views on this. We are being joined by Shampanam, who is calling us from Mumbai. Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Sir, please go ahead. What is your view on this, sir?
Sometimes this hoax call is very disturbing. While you drive, there is a call. We are unable to know whether it is somebody is really there or is a hoax call. It is very disturbing. In a day, you get 15 to 20 hoax calls. Okay, this should be absolutely banned. It is especially for a senior citizen. It is just unacceptable. Especially when we are driving alone, somebody calls, we have no idea something important or a hoax call. You pick up, it happened to be a hoax call. This must go. This must go.
You're absolutely right, sir. This should be taken very, very seriously. Mr. Lazar, may I understand from you, just for a viewer point of view, if a call like of this nature is made, as Captain Panesa was saying that every call, even there's no hoax call. You have to go through the same protocol, no matter what call, what email comes in. What is the entire process, sir? What kind of a response does the security apparatus go through if they receive any information like this?
Thank you for having me on your show. First of all, I think to trace back to answer your question, the entire procedure stemmed from the Kanishka bombing. Post the Kanishka bombing, an entire protocol of how a bomb disposal unit is treated, how the bomb committee is put together at a local airport. If a hoax call is received either at the airport or by an airline or by an individual at the airport or even the police, they inform immediately the airport manager, the senior security officer on charge of that airline, of the CISF or BSF, whoever is looking after the airport, and a committee is formed instantly. And this happens, it's a standing committee really. And that committee looks into this instantly, and then if required, it escalates it to a higher committee, okay, which has the airport director involved, the CISF head, and also involves the cabinet committee, somebody from the Prime Minister's office. So my first point is the BCAS, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security punishment is I don't agree with it. 5 years is nothing. They should actually be charged under the Indian Penal Code and put in jail. I agree with your first caller. I won't say rigorous imprisonment or not. That is for the court to decide. But let's file charges. 5-year no-fly zone, no-fly ban is a secondary thing.
Right.
In fact, I would say I read recently there was a child from a home who called up one airport to test the awareness and the response time of the officers.
Right.
I think that entire family should be put on a no-fly ban zone. Because how can you have children calling up airports and threatening that there are bombs on an aircraft? Bombing an aircraft is a very serious business. You
Absolutely.
cannot, suddenly take away. So I firmly believe punishment must be stringent. Must be more than just this.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Even thinking of bombing a plane, it's a very, very serious matter. If people don't understand the words that they use and the kind of impact that it has on the entire industry. We are getting two callers at this moment. Mr. Tapon Roy is calling us from Guwahati. We also have Dheeraj, who's also calling us from Guwahati. Mr. Roy, first to you, sir. As you've been hearing our experts, they believe 5-year rigorous imprisonment for a hoax call made to an aircraft or to the airplane, a bomb threat, is not enough. There should be more stringent measures. What do you think, sir?
I don't think setting something arbitrarily 5 years or 10 years doesn't hold good because to pass a law for all the crimes that are happening in India is not necessary, because there must be a law of the land that can take care of that, and just putting an arbitrary ban for 5 years or 10 years doesn't hold good. The law of the land should come into force, and this is a very serious offense. I think this should be dealt under it's like waging war against the sovereignty of India. When someone makes a hoax call to a airplane, flying of an airplane, because this amounts to waging war against India.
Absolutely, and we have already seen there have been examples of aircrafts have been used as flying missiles. 9/11 is one of the examples of that. In fact, Dheeraj is calling us from Guwahati. Dheeraj, go ahead.
I feel what the experts have just said about having rigorous imprisonment for such people. But what I also feel is the telecom companies also have to be brought in together to bring in some kind of preventive measures. We have to pass on this message to each and every citizen of India that the security of the country is paramount.
Right.
And no matter what, we cannot
tingle with this security? Because see, when we go to the airports, we see the stress that these CISF people are always under. And
Absolutely.
one such phone call from any person, for that matter, is going to create havoc all over the country.
You're
and
absolutely
this is
right.
not acceptable.
Absolutely.
We
These
have
kind of
to
calls
work
do put
with
a lot of
mechanism.
pressure on our security system. Mr. R.N. Agarwal is calling us from Delhi. Sir, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. I think making a Hoax call is really a very serious job, a very serious matter. And one should, if somebody calls, he should be punished a minimum of 5 years jail, or he should pay at least 10 lakh rupees. Then he should be released from jail. That's my opinion.
Thank you, sir, for calling us in. Captain Panesa, as we were talking about it, and our callers are also pointing it out, it puts so much pressure on our already burdened security system as far as the airports are concerned, sir.
See, in my opinion, the intelligence and telecommunication system is so advanced today, any hoax caller can be identified and he can be arrested, and the law takes its own course. Let the ministry decide the punishment for them. But I want to suggest that the security of the passenger when they are entering the departure launch and the security of the aircraft where they are parked should be strengthened more to make sure that no unidentified people are approaching near the aircraft. That is, we must avoid the system and we improve the safety of passenger and crew. Regarding giving punishment, I'm not a lawman, but punishment should be given to a person who gives a hoax call. And we cannot take any hoax call as a hoax call. It can be actual also. It could be serious also.
That's right.
We have to take it seriously.
Every call that comes in of this nature has to be taken seriously. The security agencies can't take any chances. I mean, they have to be absolutely sure before they let the operations continue. Jaya is calling us from Hyderabad. Ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah. I think these hoax calls, the people who have to be traced, should be given stringent punishment with a hefty fine. And if it is a juvenile doing it, he has to be put into juvenile home for a period of, I think, 5 years, so that the parents are also careful that their children do not misbehave. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for calling in and sharing your suggestions on this very important topic. Anand from Bengaluru is also on the phone line. Go ahead, Mr. Anand.
Yeah, good evening. So I also feel similarly on the hefty fine part, but the fine should be calculated as per the cost which is incurred by the authority, whether it is security forces or the airport authority. The total cost should be put as fine. So that justifies the whole thing, and also along with that, penal charges should also be filed.
Right, that's very important. In fact, there has to be both punishment and some sort of a fine to discourage people from indulging in such acts. Mr. Lazar, in the end, just to sum this up, is there any technological upgradation? Because we are living in the age of AI and so much technology. Many people also say from across the world, when you travel, you see a lot more security as far as Indian airports are concerned. People, manual security, people standing at various points. Is there a way that we can make our airports more secure using the new technology?
Ankit, I'm currently in London. I've just landed in Heathrow, and I'm leaving for Ireland tomorrow morning. I've spent 39 years flying around the world. Let me just tell you this, first of all, Indian security is one of the most stringent across the world. It's manual and there's automation. Yes, we don't have enough full body scanners across our airports, and I think the previous government had decided to order them, and maybe they will, in the near future join us. But, I want to take on this point. We need to have full body scanners and as much manual checks as we have. It's a burden, yes. Yeah. But remember, we are a country with enemies on three sides. And we have very high, infiltration of terrorists from all over the borders. So we have to be extremely careful. Very few countries on earth have this problem that we have. So this is something that we need to be concerned about. About the stringent laws and punishments.
Right.
You will note that we already have provisions under the Aircraft Act and rules.
That's right.
For disruptive passengers, where we already give them ban and imprisonment It just has to be probably expanded.
Right.
But this, according to me, this bomb threat, fake bomb threats are anti-terrorist activities. They're terrorist activities.
Right.
You know, whether they're hoax, whether they're pranks, whatever, every call, like Captain Palitsar said, every call is a bomb threat. It's not a bomb hoax.
Yes.
It turns into a hoax after investigation. So let's treat it like a terrorist act.
Absolutely.
That's
no doubt about that. We have one more caller, last caller. I'm completely out of time on this. Martin Dinesh is calling us from Andhra Pradesh. Mr. Martin Dinesh, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
See, everybody is concentrating on the problems at the airport. My view is we are in an advanced state of technology in India. Why don't they have a special telecom cell in every airport so that immediately that a hoax call comes, within minutes they will be able to trace the origin of the call and the caller. In these days, they are able to trace lost phones, stolen phones.
Right.
So I don't think it's hard for them to trace the caller. Get the police to contact the caller and identify whether it was a hoax call or a genuine call, instead of alerting all the security in the airport, as I can see on the TV.
Okay.
All the departments getting interaction. The first point they can do is trace the caller and get an idea of what is happening. Is that caller genuinely making a call or it's a hoax call? I'm sure the technology is there to be able to trace the caller. And another suggestion is, one more point, since everybody has mobile phones, you should do away with these public booths. Because people can go to a public booth, make a call and walk away. Then you can't trace anybody.
Sir, I understand that you would like some stringent measures, but completely doing it with public phones, at this moment could be one of the extreme measures that the government could be thinking of. But yes, you're right. It should be taken very, very seriously. More technology, of course, should be used to immediately try and identify whether, the caller or the place from where the person is calling from. Captain Panesa, you've heard a lot of people. I mean, it also is a genuine angst among the people that, they want some very stringent measures to be taken in these kind of situations.
Yes, I agree with them, but let the government decide about this, the measures to be taken for punishment. Our idea, with the advancement of technology, we should be able to track the hoax caller and catch him and humiliate him also and give him punishment so that it is a lesson for other people also. Some people give a hoax call because they are running short of time to reach the airport. They intentionally give a hoax call. But after security checks and all that, the security checks should also be hastened so that the passengers are not got too much inconvenience in the departure of their flights. Because they have to take the aircraft to a solitary place and take off all the baggage, everything. That takes time.
Yes. A recent example is what happened with the Emirates flight, where it was, all the bags were put on the tarmac for the bomb disposal squad to, in fact, go through one bag at a time to give it clearance. It took 12 hours to complete the entire process. In the end, Mr. Sanjay Lazar, could you, because you are from this field, you're an expert in this field, and you travel across the world. How do other countries deal with these kind of, situations where your people call in as a prank call or a, hoax call, or these days there is renewed threat of cyber security where this could be used for sending mass emails to aircrafts and to the airports to disrupt your aviation sector?
Ankit, one point, this is not very widespread in other countries. There is some element of hoax calling. But if you recall your mind, about a year ago, there was a young Indian boy who posted something on his school WhatsApp group amongst friends about coming to Sardinia to bomb a plane. And he took off from London. And by the time he had got over Spain, there were jet fighters, because any calls that are made in the vicinity of the airport, like one of your callers said, are tracked by the espionage agencies and the national security agencies. The message was flashed to the NSA in the United States. Jets were scrambled from Germany, and there were jet fighters that escorted that aircraft down. The boy was incarcerated in Spain and then taken back to the UK where he lived. He was 14 or 15 years old, and his parents were called to court. He fought a lengthy legal battle and spent millions of pounds and was made to pay for all this expense. So that is how some countries deal with it. They have special anti-terror laws post 9/11 in Canada, in the United States, in many South American countries, and European and UK. So I don't see any reason why we should not have. And that boy, that family paid all the fees. So this is a classic. He was Mr. I think Rajesh Patel or something was the boy's name. I can't recollect the name, but it's a living case for us. So that's how other countries deal with it, and I think we should. If you crush it with a firm iron hand the first time, you will not see it happen again.
Captain Panisa, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to suggest something. In past, when we used to fly about 50 years ago, they used to keep the baggage of the passenger near the aircraft before loading it. And everybody has to identify its baggage before it is loaded on board. But it is not possible that there are people, 400-seater, 500-seater aircraft, it is just not possible. But once a person is checking in his baggage, on his baggage tag, his signature should be taken and identify this baggage belongs to this person. So that no unidentified baggage is also kept on board. That's only one suggestion, but old-timer suggestion is not possible now.
No, but there are sensitive airports which still, indulge in this kind of a security measure. In Srinagar airport, you have to physically go and identify your baggage before it is, uploaded on the aircraft. So there are, Captain Panisa, the airports which do take these measures, highly sensitive one at least in India, still continue to carry on with this practice. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time out, speaking to us. This is an important topic. All of us, one way or the other, as the aviation sector is expanding, all of us hope to take more and more flights. This becomes a menace, this call, people pranking, making calls just for fun. There should be more stringent laws, and most of our callers did agree that not just 5-year ban, it should be stringent fine along with imprisonment and the penal action as well. That's all the time that we have in this edition. News and updates will continue on NDTV. Thank you so much.